Hi, I'm Dean, and I'm doing interesting quotes and examples.
I'm Louis. I'll do the summary.
I'm Lori, and I'm doing author's point of view.
I'm Samuel, and I'll be doing praises.
I'm Sophia, and I'll be doing criticisms.
And
we'll
be doing coffee!
During the 17th century, European thinkers began to transition from faith to reason. Philosophers such as Francis Bacon wanted to rebuild the perspective of the world and how we viewed it. In this new age of reason, everything would be questioned and observed. Coffee was first popular in the Muslim world and the Middle East, well before the Europeans inherited this beverage. This was due to Islam's ban on alcohol. Coffee was popular in Europe during the Enlightenment period because it kept their minds sharp and attentive. Coffee would also be advertised in coffee houses across England and France. Coffee houses were beacons of knowledge and attracted thinkers and philosophers to discuss intellectual and political matters. This is where discoveries were made and achievements met. In fact, the French Revolution was started in the coffee houses of France through the exchange of information and opinion. Even today, people are still conversing over coffee, the beverage that brought up intellectual and political thinking.
In this chapter, Standage begins by alluding to coffee's ability to make people more alert, sharpening their minds, and causing them to question the status quo, eventually leading to the scientific revolution. Those who drank coffee instead of alcohol began the day more alert and stimulated rather than relaxed and mildly inebriated, and the quality and quantity of their work improved. The most interesting thing I found about this chapter was that coffee created distinctions between the rational thinkers and the closed-minded thinkers. While coffee was the preferred drink of people who questioned the world, alcohol was the preferred drink of people with traditional values. According to Standage, it became such a haven for rational thinkers that King Charles II even called for the ban of coffee houses to prevent the spread of misinformation about the throne. This, however, caused great backlash. The result was public outcry, for coffee houses had by this time become central to social, commercial, and political life in London. The backlash of the public in response to the king's decision shows that the public's perception of the world was changing, and all of Europe along with it.
Tom Standage is an English journalist and author based in London. Standage works for the magazine company The Economist. He graduated from Oxford University, where he studied and earned his degree in engineering and computer science. He is the author of 6 history books, 2 of which being Writing on the Wall and the Victorian Internet. All of his publications are based off his interest on the internet's cultural and historical significance. As we know, Tom Standage is based in London, suggesting a bias seen in the tea and coffee chapters. They strike most of his interest as these beverages make the greatest impact in London. He glorifies coffee for its impact on many individuals as it makes them smarter, in contrast to other chapters where he lacks the highlight on their significance.
One review by the Los Angeles Times says, "A history of the world in 6 glasses links each drink to a major social or technological development. Throughout, the author underpins provocative cultural commentary with solid economic evidence and political information." This review highlights Standage's use of historical evidence when recounting the importance of coffee. Furthermore, in a review by Laura Siena from Arbiter News stated, "Insightful and impeccably researched, this is a perfect book for those who want to learn a little something about the drink they hold in their hand. After this liquid history of man, readers will not look at what is in their glass the same way again."
However, there were critics that brought Standage's flaws and failures to light. Some found his writing style, ironically, too dry. Others thought his writing was lengthy and repetitive. Critics believed that the structure of his book was similar to a middle school textbook, rather than a historical nonfiction. According to critics, Standage failed to include other civilizations of the world found in the Eastern Hemisphere. Standage lost his credibility to critics because he wrote unnecessary evidence that was too specific, whereas necessary evidence was too vague. Critics found that Standage may have been biased in the coffee and tea chapters because he was raised in London and these chapters showed great pride in the British Empire. One critic especially noted that Standage's epilogue is not in fact a conclusion of the beverages he discussed in this book, rather he goes off track to talk about bottled water and colonizing Mars.
Coffee!
Woohoo!
That was
Oh dear! Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Oh wait, is that me?
Do I need to hold the coffee?
Do you want to hold the coffee?
No, I don't want to hold the coffee.
Then do not.
I probably shouldn't have put so many words with the letter C in it.
I'm really short.
Sophia, you're a sir.
What if I stand on here?
What if you
Can
stand-
you hear me?